In the bustling halls of Northwood High, among the chatter and laughter of teenagers, there was a boy named Leo. He was a shadow, a whisper in a storm. Day after day, Leo would slip into his seat at the back of the classroom, his head down, his presence almost entirely unnoticed by his peers. He was the silent black student, the one who never raised his hand, never joined a group project unless forced, and never spoke unless spoken to. And Evan 10, his answers were short, almost clipped, as if each word was a precious coin he was reluctant to spend. His classmates weren't mean to him. Not exactly. They just ignored him. He was a blank space in their vibrant high school tapestry. They saw his dark skin, his quiet demeanor, and drew their own conclusions. He's probably not that smart, someone once whispered during a difficult math class. Maybe he doesn't speak English well, another suggested. Even though Leo had been in their school district since kindergarten, they filled the silence he left with their own assumptions, never once thinking to simply ask. Teachers weren't much better. They'd call on the eager hands, the confident voices. Leo, with his gaze fixed on his desk, was easy to overlook. He did his work, turned it in, and received average grades. He was a problem-free, and therefore invisible, student. No one ever pushed him. No one ever challenged him. And no one ever saw the spark that lay dormant behind his quiet eyes. One of his classmates, a girl named Maya, was perhaps the most oblivious of all. Maya was popular, a Strata student, president of the debate club, and a social butterfly. Her world was loud, fast-paced, and full of people just like her. She barely registered Leo's existence. To her, he was just part of the classroom furniture. As senior year drew to a close, the excitement in the air was palpable. Everyone was talking about college acceptances, prom dates, and the future that lay just beyond graduation. The senior superlatives were announced. Most likely to succeed, class clown, best dressed. Leo's name was never mentioned. He remained on the periphery, an observer to the memories everyone else was so busy making. Then came graduation day. The gymnasium was packed with proud parents and restless graduates in their caps and gowns. The air was thick with anticipation and the scent of wilting corsages. The principal, Mr. Harrison, stepped up to the podium. He began his speech with the usual platitudes about journeys and new beginnings. But then, his tone shifted. "Every year," he said, his voice resonating through the large hall, "we are privileged to witness the incredible potential of our students. We celebrate their academic achievements, their athletic victories, and their artistic talents. But sometimes, the greatest achievements are the ones that happen in silence, the ones that go unseen." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Maya, sitting in the front row, adjusted her cap, only half. She was already thinking about the after-party. "This year," Mr. Harrison continued, "we have a student in our graduating class who truly embodies this idea. A student who has faced challenges most of us can only imagine, and has done so with a quiet dignity and a strength that is nothing short of inspirational." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. "This year, our valedictorian is not just the student with the highest GPA in Northwood High's history. He is also a testament to the power of perseverance." The students looked around, confused. Everyone knew Maya was supposed to be the valedictorian. She had the highest grades, the most extracurriculars. A wave of confusion washed over her. Had there been a mistake? This student, Mr. Harrison's voice boomed, taught himself advanced calculus and physics, using library books and free online resources. He aced every standardized test he took, scoring perfect scores on the SAT and multiple AP exams. He did all this while working a full-time night job to support his family. He did all of this without fanfare, without seeking recognition, and without a single complaint. The gym was now dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone was leaning forward, their eyes fixed on the principal. Who was this mystery student? "It is my profound honor," Mr. Harrison said, his voice thick with emotion, "to announce this year's valedictorian, who has also received a full 4-year scholarship to MIT. Please join me in congratulating Leo Washington." The name hung in the air. Leo, the quiet kid from the back of the room. A collective gasp swept through the student section. Heads swiveled, searching for the face they had ignored for 4 years. And then, from the back row, Leo stood up. He walked, slowly, deliberately, towards the stage. His steps were steady, his posture straight. As he walked, the whispers started. Leo? No way. Mighty. He never even spoke in class. I didn't even know his last name was Washington. Maya was stunned into silence. Her jaw was literally hanging open. Leo, the boy she had dismissed as uninterested and unengaged, the one she had never even bothered to say hello to. He was the valedictorian. It felt like the world had tilted on its axis. All her assumptions, all the casual judgments she and her friends had made, crumbled into dust. Leo reached the podium. He looked out at the sea of shocked faces. For the first time, everyone in the room was looking at him. And for the first time, Bill looked back. He wasn't avoiding their gaze. His eyes were clear and calm. He took a deep breath, and then he began to speak. His voice was not what they expected. It was deep, articulate, and filled with a quiet confidence that captivated the entire room. He didn't talk about formulas or theorems. He didn't boast about his achievements. He talked about his mother, a single parent who worked 2 jobs and always told him that knowledge was the one thing no one could ever take from him. He talked about taking the late-night bus to his janitorial job after school, studying under the dim light of a storeroom, with textbooks propped up against cleaning supplies. He talked about the loneliness, the exhaustion, and the quiet determination that fueled him when no one was watching. I was silent in class, he said, his voice steady, not because I had nothing to say, but because I was listening. I was observing, I was learning. While you were talking, I was working. While you were socializing, I was studying. My silence was not emptiness, it was focus. He looked directly at his classmates. There was no anger in his eyes, no resentment, only a profound sense of peace. You didn't see me, sighed softly, but I saw all of you. I saw your passions, your friendships, your struggles, and I learned from you, too. You taught me that the world is not always what it seems on the surface. You taught me the importance of looking deeper. Tears were streaming down faces throughout the audience. Teachers who had overlooked him stared at the floor in shame. Students who had ignored him felt a deep, gut-wrenching pang of regret. Maya felt a hot blush creep up her neck. She'd been so proud of her own hard work, so sure of her own success, that she had completely failed to see the quiet giant walking among them. Leo concluded his speech by thanking his mother, who was weeping with joy in the front row, and Mr. Harrison, who had taken the time to see past his silence. As he walked back to his seat, the silence in the gymnasium erupted. It was a thunderous, roaring applause that went on and on. It was more than just applause for a valedictorian. It was an apology. It was an acknowledgement. It was a wave of respect that had been for years overdue. For the rest of the ceremony, Leo was no longer invisible. Classmates came up to him, shaking his hand, their eyes filled with a new understanding. "I'm so sorry," Maya managed to say, her voice trembling. "Your speech, it was incredible. You are incredible." Leo just smiled, a genuine, warm smile that lit up his entire face. "Thank you," he said. It was a simple phrase, but it held the weight of years of unspoken thoughts. On that graduation day, the students of Northwood High learned their most important lesson. It wasn't from a textbook or a lecture. It was from the silent boy in the back of the room who taught them that a person's worth isn't measured by how loudly they speak, but by the depth of their character and the quiet strength of their spirit. He had been there all along, a hidden masterpiece, waiting for the world to finally open its eyes and see. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that makes you think. We'll see you in the next video.